Okay, so I'm just doing this quick video because I just want to express what is really going on and in our foster care system, and unfortunately, it's not helping our teenagers who are being rebellious. It is just teaching them that they can get away with it, and then they'll be enabled by social services. So this is the deal. Okay, juvenile hall, there is nothing wrong with juvenile hall. Juvenile hall is a safe place for them. They're not going to be able to run from. Therefore, they're not going to be at some stranger's house. They're not going to end up being picked up on the street like I did and get kidnapped and raped and all that bull crap. You know, they're in a secure facility. Two, they have therapy. Have access to a therapist daily because it's in a structured environment. So they have to have therapy going on, group therapy, individual therapy. You know, it's easily accessible in that environment. For some odd reason, social services has a very hard time giving these kids therapists. They want to instead use CASA workers, okay? However, CASA workers are not licensed therapists. They're volunteers just to be like big sisters and big brothers and then take back whatever information they can get to the social workers. It's not confidential. And so then the kid feels like, well, I told you that in confiding in you and trusting you, but you went and told the social worker and it's like messing things up. All right? So no, unfortunately, CPS needs to have more of a priority in mental health and giving these teenagers a therapist. I have therapy every single week. Why is it so hard for them to give therapists to children, to teenagers who desperately need that? You know? And then when they want to when these teenagers want to rebel and break rules and not follow case plan, what are the consequences? Where's the discipline? There is none. They're just given off to another home or to another home and whatever it is and tossed over here, tossed over there. Still no therapy being put in place, you know? Not even by phone. Not even a schedule. Like, okay, we have a therapy appointment every week with this kid, da 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 da, you know? She does it over the phone, telehealth, Zoom, whatever it is, right? No. Their whole concern is how much control can we have? How much can we manipulate this in order to, like, I don't know, like, get more money, get more funding, get more sympathy? I don't know what it is, honestly. But I'm going to tell you something. Juvenile hall, there's nothing wrong with juvenile hall. And so I believe that CPS seriously needs to stop stigmatizing juvenile hall as, oh, that's not a tool that should be used. It is, because if you don't stop the behavior in its tracks immediately, it goes on and on and on. And then it starts a pattern. And then that pattern becomes a habit. And then that habit is harder to break as they become adults and their mind is finally done growing. And then we have broken adults walking around, not knowing how to survive, not knowing what to do, you know, in and out of jail or, you know, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, you know? That's just the way it goes. And unfortunately, it's a bad pattern that CPS doesn't want to even break. They don't want to sit there and take accountability that there was no therapist put in place for my daughter. And I don't really care, like, if me talking about this online or whatever it is, I don't care. Because we're at the point where she's running away. She's not happy. She's not getting the therapy that she needs. These other teenagers in group homes and foster homes, they're not getting the therapy they need. I was in a group home and I got barely enough therapy. Barely. But in these group homes, at least there was structure. And I got to the fourth level in both of these group homes. So it's attainable. And there's nothing wrong with them. And so I feel like group homes and juvenile hall are like stigmatized as bad. You know, and it's not necessarily bad. It's just they need more support. They need more staff. They need more pay, you know, because it's not easy dealing with 5 teenagers in one home who are traumatized, who are rebellious, who are just don't care, or who, care too much and are scared. Like you have all these different personalities and backgrounds coexisting in one home. So having 1 or 2 staff members is not enough. Just take it from a foster kid that was in a couple of group homes, all right? I know. And so when I come to CPS with this tool or this consequence, as in a child is continually being rebellious, not wanting to listen to the rules, running away from all their foster homes and everything, what is the most thing, and then ending up getting abducted at one time. Like I tell you, I was kidnapped. Basically, I was abducted, given the date rape drug, and I was missing for 3 days at 15 years old in the foster care system here in this town. Well, not town, in this SLO County, Templeton. And it's in my book. This is in my book. And so, because the foster parent didn't want to come pick me up. 15 years old. You live in Paso, I'm in Templeton. You didn't want to come pick me up. But me, I'll drive all the way to Paso or to SLO or wherever it is to get my kids. Or I'll take a bus an hour away. Or I'll walk 10 miles just to go see my kids for an hour for my visits. Yeah. And then also, too, there is no counseling for these foster parents. They need counseling, too. They need someone that they can confide in and talk to, because the last resource parent that my case had booked, she bailed. She said I couldn't do it anymore. But they're not saying that she's a bad parent. They're not blaming her for whatever it is, No, they want to come and attack the parents because we're the scapegoats. Easy target, It's just the way it is. And until somebody stands up and says something and fights against it, there's never going to be change. And I'm the only one doing that right now. I'm standing up against CPS and fighting against their courts and against all of their attorneys that say that they're part of helping you and a team and all that nonsense. No. No. Your guys are a team, and then I'm my own team. But that's okay, because I already know how to do all of this, I've already gone through, the battle. So I know what to do. I'm not ignorant. And I'm not going to sit there and bow down and have these social workers just continually write up erroneous reports. It's like they take everything out of context. That's why I say record everything, or work through text message, through email, like get everything on paper, then you can come back and actually have a case. And then we can start, changing the foster care system, revamping it, bringing in some new ideas, and actually making a better difference instead of it being the same mediocre pattern of corruption. Okay? Oh, man. Child Protective Services. They really don't protect the child or the parent or the resource parent. They protect themselves. And so that's why they break your rights, because they're trying to protect their crookedness. But since they know that I know, they fight me left and right. But that's all right. Like I said, I know how to win. I know how to beat the system when it comes to the foster care system. So if anybody wants to know, if you got a teenager, just message me. I'll help you out. It's just not comfortable. It's uncomfortable, but it's possible. So, yeah, I just had to get this out there because, unfortunately, I feel like if we don't stand up for what is right, then it's going to continually be a bad pattern, and we're never going to have a change. It's just always going to be a broken system, and then we're going to sit here and be complaining about something that we're not trying to fix. Okay, I'm trying to fix it. Not sit here and just complain about it and do nothing. I'm trying to be the change, be the difference, be the voice. Trying to fix the problem. It's not easy. Especially when I get told, oh, you're this and you're that. I'm like, yeah. Keep it up. It's all on email now. It's just hilarious. Because it's like, okay, listen to this. A kid who continually runs away and misbehaves and is being rebellious and doesn't care about the rules of the home or whatever it is, and they don't get put in juvenile hall and forced into kind of some kind of a structure and discipline or whatever it is, then what are they going to do when they're adults and they break the law? They're just going to run. They're going to run. They're not going to face it. They're not going to take accountability for their actions of not following the laws and whatnot. And so they're going to be on the run, and then they're going to get caught and be thrown in jail, and it's just going to be this horrible pattern once again, you know? And we all wonder, where does it start? Where's the root of the problem? The root of the problem is Child Protective Services. It's foster care. Do you know how many kids we have in foster care? We have so many kids in foster care that the judge can't even handle the schedule. That he's so short he can't even give the parents space to speak. And then he, in turn, insults them. So the whole system is just, it's overwhelming with negativity and fear and it's just like, this ain't criminal court, y'all. This is not criminal court. What the heck? Oh my gosh. I remember walking into the courtroom too of the juvenile court in SLO and being like, oh man, like, can't say anything. Nah, honey, nah. Freedom of speech, first of all. Okay? Second of all, you have to be the voice for your kid, because the social worker isn't, the CASA worker isn't, the foster parent can't do shit, because unfortunately they're just babysitting the kid. And there's no therapy. There's no actual repairing the damage that's been done. It's just covering up with little band-aids here and there. Then the kid just rips all those band-aids off and runs off. You know? We got to do better. We got to do better. And I don't care if the system wants to sit here and point their fingers at me. Go ahead. Because I'll be the first one to stand up and try to make a difference. And to show you what's really going on. That these kids are being so damaged mentally in this process that it's discouraging to everybody involved. It's actually really sad because of one aspect not being met, and that's therapy. All around therapy. Not just the parent going to therapy, but the foster parent in therapy, the foster kid in therapy. Heck, maybe even these social workers need to be in their own therapy as well, because it's just he said, she said, let's distort this, let's take that message and just put it over here and type up this and put quotation marks over here and say she said that and you know, yeah. And then the whole report just looks like nonsense. Looks like chaos. And makes the parent look terrible. It actually makes social services look really bad too, because they can't even take accountability in the fact that there was no therapy. That was part of the case plan. Therapy once a week. That was not even in place. It was only in place for me. I did it. I was in compliance. But they weren't, and they don't want to take accountability. So they turn around and say that the parent is doing the wrong, and that's the reason why the kid ran. I'm just like, okay. If you want to say so. That makes you sleep better at night. But God sees everything. God sees it all. And in turn, like I said, I'm protected. I know I'm doing the right thing and fighting for the right things. Therefore, I will get the victory, because God always gets the victory. And then I'll just write another book about it. Oh my gosh. You guys, it's hilarious. The emails that I have now. I have my case. I have my case. Civil lawsuit on their desks. You know? And it's like I said, you got 2 years. You got 2 years to come back and actually fight. And we all need to be, because if we've dealt with the foster care system, we've all been wronged. Our rights have been broken. And if we come together, the majority of us, and start, doing this legal, like take it into legal matters the right way, they're going to have to start changing. They're going to have to start, bringing in new ways of doing things, because it's horrible. It's horrible. And I will be the first to speak on it because, one, I was a foster kid myself. Two, I have freedom of speech. And three, CPS court is not criminal court. It is not criminal court. You cannot be thrown in jail for any of this nonsense that they keep saying that you're doing, and that you're a bad parent, and that you can't da. It's just their opinion because they want to have control and won't take accountability for the fact that they're slipping and they're dropping the ball and they're really not doing their jobs. So I just wanted to get that out. Hope you guys are having a really good day. I have my therapy at noon, and then I'm going to hit the gym because that's how I take care of myself. That's how I take care of my mental health, my physical health, is I go to therapy and I go to the gym. And I do everything by email or text message so that I have the evidence that I'm trying to work with them, but they're not wanting to work with me in return. They just want to get upset that I'm calling them out on things that is wrong, and they don't want to take accountability for it. So they want to turn around and make the report look terrible. So, just stand up for yourselves. Don't be afraid. If you are though, like, that's okay too. Because like I said, I've been there. I was afraid to stand up for myself and, say the things I needed to say. I had a great attorney in SLO County. Like I said, she was my attorney when I was in foster care. So she's known me for 25 years. She knows that I'm a good parent. I'm smart. And I'm not just the average bear you can walk on. So she already knows. I already won once with CPS. They couldn't do nothing. And here we are again in that same boat. So it's like, oh, I already know what to do. That's why I don't need to lash out. I just let them know what's going to happen, and then it happens. And we go from there. So yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Doing pretty good this morning. Just laughing about this nonsense. Even my therapist, she's laughing about it too because she read the report. She's been talking to me every week for like a month and a half, 2 months now. And she's like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just fighting for, what there needs to be a change on in the system. You're seeing the errors. You're seeing the flaws. And you're probably the only parent that has the courage to really stand up, because CPS can be very intimidating. The way that they write their reports, the way that they're sneakily just have hour-long conversations with you over the phone, but they don't want to be recorded, or they don't want it through email because they want to turn around and say something totally different in their reports. I don't know why. Honestly, I really don't know why. Oh, man. But, yeah. All right, you guys. Stay blessed. Peace. Oh, and keep your prayers up. Always, 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 always. Wake up in the morning and pray first thing in the morning. Dispatch your angels and ask God to just go before you. Okay? Bye, you guys.